They took the 700 billion and gave it to the freaking bankers who destroyed the economy in the first place. So if you don't understand yet why I'm very skeptical of both the Democrat and Republican parties, it's because I know how this thing works. I know where the bodies are buried. I know how to follow the money. They all work for the same billionaires. There's no reason why all that money should have gone to saving the bankers and none of it going to the American people. But who do you think is getting your congressman elected? Who do you think is writing those big old checks at those $100,000 a plate dinners? It's not regular people. So ultimately, so here's the thing, and there's academic research on this. Basically, they find that when investors and bankers and wealthy people know they're going to get bailed out if something goes wrong, it increases their incentive to take risk. It's like, well, let's take a risk because if we win, if we're successful, then we get to be hardcore capitalists. We get to say, well, I'm wealthy because of my hard work and ingenuity. But if things go bad, then they suddenly become socialists. Well, we need the government to bail us out so that it doesn't destroy the industry and blah 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 blah. Right. So ultimately, that it creates very warped incentives. And I want to explain this to you. I need you to understand this, and I want you to understand it and hear me when I'm telling you I'm doing my best to be as objective as I can be about this, because I know sometimes we get into Democrat Republican conversations and I just don't want any parts of that. I'm just telling you how the game works and I want you to understand where to position yourself. Part of the reason that I want you to be an investor is because when they're doing all these bailouts, one of the greatest beneficiaries of all these government bailouts and the fact that the government feels they have to take care of rich people first, the group that benefits the most are people that are invested in the stock market. They will not typically allow the stock market to crash. They if the stock market down now again, you could have an extra million homeless people on the street. They're not gonna see that as a crisis. You can have fentanyl addicts falling out, on street corners everywhere. That's not a national crisis. Kids not getting educated in school, that's not a national crisis. But let the stock market drop 30% and watch how quickly the Federal Reserve jumps into action and starts lowering interest rates and increasing the money supply and engaging in all forms of economic stimulus to get that sucker going again. That they do, this is what they do. They call it, they have a term for it. They call it the Fed put. Now, if you know anything about put options, remember put options are what? Put options are things that you buy to protect your investments. It's like insurance. It's something that gives you what's the word? A safety net. It's a safety net, right? So the Fed put is a safety net where investors take extra risk. And when I say investors, I'm talking about anybody that's in the stock market. They take extra risk. They speculate more because they know that the Fed is only going to allow stock prices to drop so far. In fact, let me give you a real life example where I just this week made about an extra $5,000 based on a similar concept. I'm going to call this the Trump put. So here's how I made money on the Trump put. Donald Trump has this company called Trump Media, which is an absolutely horrible company that I would never invest in under any normal circumstances. I don't know what the hell they make. They probably make less revenue than like local mom and pop pizza shops. Like they're terrible at what they do. And the stock price is reflecting that. The stock price was dropping, dropping, dropping. And I said to myself, I said, okay, I don't know Trump personally, but I look at this guy. He's definitely, he could be a narcissist. He's definitely powerful. He's the president of the United States. I said he's only going to let this stock drop so far. He's going to step in and he's going to do something to stimulate the value of this company at some point. I didn't know this for sure, but this is what I was investing in. I was investing in his selfishness. I don't trust people. I trust people to be who they are. Do you understand?